This evening, Mr. Sensible gave us a fun little video, 5 minutes and 39 seconds long, that I can highly recommend. In it, he just very briefly arbiters a debate point between Sean Hawkins and Flatzoid. In this, what he's done here is he's found a video of Sean and Flatzoid having a conversation, and Sean, at one point, issues a challenge to Flatzoid and offers Flatzoid $100 if you can find a spot in the Bible that says the earth is flat or something to that effect. We'll get into the details in a moment. Flatzoid then responds and says he wants his $100 because he then goes on to point out some spots in the Bible, 2 Samuel 11, where he says that the earth is flat. Well, Mr. Sensible comes down in favor of Flatzoid. For a change, he's trying to rule fairly as to whether or not Flatzoid deserves the $100 from the bet. I happen to disagree with Mr. Sensible on the point. I'm not going to argue with him about it. He's a great guy. A lot of other people disagreed too. But I want to read my response and why I think it was not the correct decision on Mr. Sensible's part. Sean's exact words are as follows. This is my comment. If you can point to the place in the Bible where it says it's flat without interpreting it, etc. Flatzoid responded with, quote, "You told me if I can give you any Bible version that shows the earth is flat." Okay. So the key here is Sean's use of its. I think we can all acknowledge that the word earth has two distinct meanings, and the Samuel passage refers to flat ground. I think we can also agree that both Sean and Flatzoid know very well the discussion is not about the ground, but rather the planet. After all, Flatzoid did say the earth, and is obviously not referring to the ground surface, but rather the planet. So Flatzoid only, quote, wins if we disingenuously allow him to substitute the obviously irrelevant flat ground definition for the planet definition as the reference to its. I argue that Sean did not state his challenge with the absolute precision and clarity he should have or could have, defining each and every term, because, honest human that he is, he figured that Flatzoid would not use an entirely inappropriate definition for the word earth. That, of course, was Sean's mistake. Flatzoid is not a decent human being and will happily resort to any lie or subterfuge to try to cheat or steal. However, Flatzoid did interpret because he had to choose between the two definitions of earth or earth. In choosing, he interpreted. I would also argue that Flatzoid disqualified himself when he misstated Sean's challenge. Sean said nothing about any Bible version. He said the Bible. Again, there is room for interpretation. Which Bible, given that it is translated so many different ways? I would argue in this context, arguing with a Bible-thumping biblical pseudo-literalist like Flatzoid, the only acceptable version of the Bible is the original, in other words, in Hebrew. And the word used in the Hebrew translates as, quote, the field. It is never used to refer to the planet as a whole. So first thing I'm going to do here as reference, I'm going to go over to a website called scriptureforall.org. Scripture, the number 4, and then all.org. It's a Hebrew-English interlinear Bible. And here's 2 Samuel 11. Here's the English. Here we see the Hebrew with the transliteration and the English below. And the passage is translated as the field. Eshde, the field. And I've highlighted the word here. If I put that same Hebrew word into Google Translate, it also gives me the field. It is not the word for the earth, the planet. Let's see what the word for the planet is. And in Hebrew. Haplanta. Haplanta. And let's try planet Earth. Gador hearts. So we can see that the Hebrew word that is used in the Bible has nothing to do with the word for the planet Earth. So I think on the basis of this, Flatzoid does not win the $100. I think that Sean Hawkins made a poor bet because he's a decent guy and he's messing with indecent people. He should have known better, but I don't think that there's any way to say that Flatzoid has actually met the terms of the bet. He misstated what the bet was by claiming it was any Bible version, and he interpreted the passage. Okay, that's all. Enough for one evening. Hope you all are having a great weekend and looking forward to a productive week. This is FE Peer Review.